There you go, Tweedy, no doubt. Gonna keep his distance until he gets the life lead. And now that he's up close and personal, Deoxys, being Assassin, hopefully gonna put that parry into gameplay to establish that threat early on. Tweedy missing that back one. And that actually looked like a whiff punish. Deoxys making the absolute most out of this opportunity. And that was shades of a tie with the beautiful little setup there. Goes for the EX fans, and you're seeing all of this damage. Down 3 in the fan. This is actually going to kill if he doesn't drop it. And a beautiful way to start this set by Deoxys.
And that was a nice instant fan just at the very last moment to build that little bit more meter.
They go down 3 again, going to establish as much dominance up close, because when Tweedy can get the possess game started with that amount of mix and at the pace that he can do it at, Deoxys is going to do everything he can to keep that from happening. And 1-1-1 straight through those buttons. Tweedy needs to be a little bit more mindful of that frame data. He had it down 3 and went for a button afterwards. After his down 3 was blocked, Deoxys definitely not going to let him get away with murder this set. Go flow into...
And we see, for one of the first times in history of Mortal Kombat X, that X-ray got blocked, and Tweedy's going to take that and try to take this round from Deoxys. Deoxys not out of it, but doesn't respect the second demon coming. Can we get some hype in that chat for a blocked Katana X-ray?
Okay. Tweedy is an absolute god for that. There is no way you can punish that on reaction. This man read it a mile away and was confident enough to just hold blocks standing up. That was insane. But Deoxys still has the corner pressure and is going to do a lot of damage. Connected with the EX fan. Juicy, juicy, juicy 46%.
Yeah,
he's doing everything to keep Tweedy in this corner for as long as possible. Tweedy, no meter to work with here.
And Deoxys has so much meter now, and even if he gets some block pressure generated, that's going to do it. We're getting them one. It doesn't matter if you are a god and block that X-ray. Deoxys still was able to outplay him for 2 of those games. And wow, taking a lead over the Week 9 champion is Deoxys. Tweedy shockingly going down 1 game, even though he had his Game Genie plugged in and was able to block the unblockable X-ray. Insane stuff from these two.
You know what Tweedy did? He blocked that and just totally threw away the mix.
Oh, no.
From Deoxys. That was the most brilliant thing I've ever seen. It's almost unfortunate that he still lost that game, because that was deserving of the win by itself. But Deoxys, if you're Deoxys right now, you need to take a step back and realize that even with that block, you won the match. So you think about how dominant that match really was for you, especially in the up-close game. Joe just trying to get some pressure in there. With the parry, just take himself very far away, interactable, gets punished by Tweedy. A little bit of damage there. You're seeing now a lot of the damage that Deoxys dishes out. It happens to be chip. Spends both bars of meter to get in some nice damage. And here we go back into the corner where Deoxys proved to be dominant last time. And here's the pressure by Tweedy. Finally being able, this is probably the first time they had a chance to see Tweedy get some pressure going.
Yeah, and you know, the blocks from Deoxys have been great. And you know, we talked about that golden rule earlier, is if someone's blocking too much, throw is a great way to open them up. And Tweedy opting, instead of throwing a 50-50, going for the throw there.
You go, taking his time to back up. He knows he doesn't have the life lead. Pretty much sitting on chip, but the beautiful rising demon. That was a read and a half by Tweedy there. Decides not to spend the bar meter, confident enough in his read to get that hit. Go, all that damage, all of that chip damage, and the meter building.
A lot of mobility on the screen right now, and these two are not. There hasn't been a hit on the screen for a while, and just falling.
Whoa!
For nothing there was Tweedy pressing a button. I think he was guessing a stagger, but a big drop from Deoxys. Tweedy wants it. He wants it now.
There you go. Nice little conversion. Knew he didn't have the stamina to get anything more. Goes for the quick back one into Human Fury. Deoxys trying to keep himself in the game. Would love to go up 2-0. And the sweet spot, the Dragon Special, securing that round by the skin of his teeth.
That is something that you have to know against Kitana, is that if she's going to change her aerial hitbox by doing that late float or not, and that is a down 2 killer.
Off of all of his meter right now. He needs to be careful yet again in the corner with no meter. Deoxys taking his time.
In the read! Knowing that Tweedy was going to attempt a jump out, and he didn't even commit to the EX float. That was insane from Deoxys, and he's got so much meter here that he can ride, but he's going to give Tweedy the bar. And of course, Tweedy, once he gets it, coming off it, he says there's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to do it anyway. But Deoxys has so much bar.
I love how he's mixing in the gap in that string. I have not seen any other Katana player use it quite like Deoxys, and it's paying off what seems to be 100% of the time. Deoxys has the meter to even chip out Tweedy here. Assassin runs to get out of the corner. No!
Oh, no.
Tweedy's not good in the water, but another EX Rising Blade cutting Tweedy in half, up 2-0. Looking to take out last week's champion.
Very good stuff. Deoxys is just playing, and the word that we have to say is that the way he's playing is just incredibly solid. It's just incredibly solid play. I love that we've seen actually offensive play from Kitana here, and he's been able to lock Tweedy down in that corner multiple rounds now, and it's been pretty frightening. And he's at the health lead and the meter lead, especially doing it. He hasn't had to respect Tweedy's wake up armor much at all in this set, and the couple times that he has, you know, he'll take that 10 to 15% on the wake up to keep that corner pressure and to keep that health and meter lead, and he's been playing it perfect so far. And Tweedy needs this win and a win in top 8 to lock himself into grand finals, into the season 2 finale.
I mean, you're taking a look at Deoxys. We've seen him multiple times in the past here in the top 16. This guy relatively well, but this is like a whole new caliber of Deoxys. He's sitting on a 2-0 lead right now over Tweedy, who was not only last week's champion, but is pretty much a staple in the top 8 here in the Kombat Cup. Not to say that Tweedy can't do a reverse 3-0. We've seen him do it plenty of times in the past. And he's definitely the player to be able to do it. And we're seeing now Tweedy starting to adjust to Deoxys by securing that dominating round without using much of his meter. Really, the key issue here is his meter management, because if he's put in the corner, 95% of the time he's in the corner without meter. But has to spend the breaker there, going to do everything he can to kind of move forward and switch positions. Just as I say, getting a clean cross-up. Deoxys, knowing his dominant place in that corner, going to switch positions. Down 3 in the throat slice, and what is the mix? Just trying to bait out that armor. Very nice idea, but Tweedy trying to stay on his bar for as long as possible. Here we go. Forward 1, stagger into the grab. Trying to even out. It gets the clean jump in. Now, he has a chance just going for the unbreakable damage.
And he did that just in case Tweedy decided to break. That's
How
very smart stuff.
disrespectful does that get to get a back one like that? That was just a bitch slap if I've ever seen one. Here we go. Tweedy getting the armor. Just pushing Deoxys far away from that corner where he wants to be.
And utilizing throw to its max potential here in the final round. He's gotten throw late against Tweedy. And his defense has been lights out. He's blocked everything so far from Tweedy. In this potentially deciding game.
I love what Deoxys is doing. He's not even contesting the air because he knows he's doing well enough on the ground to not take that risk.
And what a down 2 from Tweedy, and that's going to hit everywhere. Tweedy's back in the match, guys. 1-2. Tweedy trying to make it back in the top 8. If he makes it there and gets a win, he is done. He is guaranteed for the Season 2 finale. He needs this. He's going to fight and claw his way and try to reverse 3-0 this man who's played so solid and has shut down everything Tweedy attempted. And even in that final round, Deoxys blocked everything until he finally got opened up one time, and the defense fell apart, and everything worked for Tweedy.
Now this is a Deoxys is on thin ice because although he's still sitting up 2-1, Tweedy's the kind of guy where set score doesn't really matter. This guy is a strong enough player with a good enough character to really make anything happen here. We could very easily see a reverse 3-0 if Deoxys lets up at all. So even though I was talking about it before that he wasn't contesting the air because he was content with that ground game, if he doesn't tighten up, he's going to want to start taking some risk here in an effort to close out the set before it gets any closer.
Ooh, and a lot of throws himself earlier from Tweedy, trying to disrupt the block patterns of Deoxys. And there we go, throw again. Deoxys has been blocking everything right, so what do? You throw that man. If he's going to respect the mix, give him something else to respect.
And finally a parry for Deoxys, but Tweedy not going to respect the threat at all, and all that damage just chipping away. Gets a walk-up grab, but he still has a lot of work to do. Down 3 through that demon push. He's trying to, at the very least, build up enough meter. Tweedy off of a bar and in the corner against Deoxys. Down 1 in the Rising Blades. Tweedy armoring right through that gap. Going to do everything in his power to end this match right now and put himself in a Game 5 situation.
So many throws since taking that game as Tweedy. I like the mix-up that he's thrown in. And instead of going for the full stagger, the full potential stagger pressure and the full pressure into the demon mix-ups, he's thrown in throws so many times already. And the down 2, just to react to the whiffed DP attempt, and Deoxys came off the bar, and now Tweedy simply needs to armor his way into a game number 5. An overhead demon's coming eventually, but getting out of his Deoxys blocks it down 2, but no punish. And that is going to chip out even if he would have blocked. And Tweedy is going to tie things up here at 2-2. 1 game away from reverse 3-0ing and 1 game away from making it back into the top 8. This man is looking poised out of nowhere when his back was to the wall.
And we were just talking about it before, man. Tweedy set score against this man does not matter. You see it here, as quickly as Deoxys went up 2-0, Tweedy immediately ran it back, and now we're sitting at a Game 5 situation where Deoxys is even considering switching variations, and he does. I believe I'm looking at Mournful. Is that what I'm looking at? I'm trying to see if I could see it up close. It's kind of hard for me to see it. Either way, he needs to be very careful. This is the crucial part where he's not out of it yet. If he's taken 2 games, he can take 1 more. But it's going to take a lot more than what he's been dishing out.
And
recently.
it's Assassin,
no, he does stick with Assassin
still.
Okay.
So he still likes that parry.
You know what? And the few times that he's using that parry, it manages to work out. But maybe he just doesn't have confidence in the other situations. Go reverse grab. Looking like he's going to try and push him more towards the corner. Taking his time. That looked to be a punish with the forward 2 string. Very smart about Deoxys.
And what a reaction! What a reaction while walking forward to that teleport from Tweedy. That was a young man reaction right there.
And actually getting clipped by the low. Deoxys taking that round away pretty easily.
And now has a match point. He has a match point for himself after losing 2 games straight. And not believe it,
just
Tweedy
misses the down 1 conversion.
If Tweedy would have committed, could have got some decent damage there in the corner.
Down 3 in a reverse grab. Just going to do everything in his power to try to establish some sort of pressure, but Deoxys being a little bit slippery and getting the forward 2 to connect.
This is going to be
some nice damage. Oh, keeps it a little bit more simple. Still 30%.
And falling for the double overhead is Tweedy, but Deoxys didn't believe. If he would have believed, he would have got a nice combo again and back into the corner.
You see he's trying to scout out that EX overhead. Doesn't scout it out that time, though. Eats it right to the face. But very nice blocks at the same time. Still just ending the stagger early.
Oh, and
he's in a chip out situation, but he can still make something happen.
Oh, and here we go! He doesn't block it again, and Tweedy is going to get hit by that unblockable X-ray. That came out of nowhere. I didn't even expect it at that point. And wow, Deoxys is going to take it 3-2 over Tweedy.